Now, like a lot of you, I've hit that milestone we've all thought about at our age, and that is retirement. Or maybe you're already there, living on a pension, and wondering, well, what now? How do you fill your days now that you're retired? Now, if you've been working in the same job, the same place for the last 40 odd years, and then bang, that's it, your entire working life suddenly stops. It's over. And that's regardless whether or not you have things planned for retirement. How do you fill your days? Because it's virtually a whole new life. Everything's changed. However, the reality is, it's really the start of a whole new chapter. G'day and welcome to Living Life in the Lockyer, Life After 60. I'm Robbie Greer, and I said to myself when I turned 60 that I'm now in my final quarter. I'm going to make this the best quarter ever, and I'm planning on going into extra time. And in all honesty, apart from some major health issues, I've never been so consistently happy, fitter, and just generally feeling good about myself and life in general. A few years ago, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Now, it's something that's pretty common for blokes our age and even younger. I've actually got a nephew who's only in his 50s, and he's been diagnosed as well, about the same time as me. And that's part of the story too. I'll be sharing that journey in upcoming videos in the hope that it helps someone out there. Now, for me, transition was a little bit different. I've been a working artist for over 15 years, and my studio's always been at home. So I never had that last day at the office moment, or last day on the job moment, whatever it was that you were doing. But retirement still brings a shift, a big one at that. And that's what this channel is all about. Finding new purpose, staying active, and having a bit of fun with it all. We're going to have fun. Now, whether I'm in the shed making something, pottering around in the garden, out on the water fishing in my kayak, making videos, swinging a golf club, or just enjoying a cuppa and a beer and a yarn. Now, I still love to draw. That'll never change. And I still teach art in my studio, although I don't actively promote the classes or workshops anymore. Hey, I'm retired. It's more of a social thing now, and it's also great therapy and very relaxing. It can be a bit frustrating too, but hey, this part of the journey. Making every day count, to me, is just so important. And I'm curious by nature, so I've still got a lot of interest to pursue yet. Since retiring, I've had a go at printing my own t-shirt. There's actually a story behind that too, which we can discuss in a future video. Mugs, tote bags, selling online, and at certain markets. I'm learning how to turn pens on my lathe, making rings, and a few other things as well that I want to share with you. It's about staying active. I, for one, I just can't sit and watch TV. I enjoy watching the odd movie or series or something that we get into, in the evenings when I'm winding down. I remember a physio once telling me that movement is medicine, and that sort of stuck with me. It really has. Is there something that you enjoy making? If so, share it with us in the comments below. I'd really like to, and I'm sure others would like to know what you do to stay active and curious in retirement. Now, I've always valued my weekends, and since retirement, I've made a point of keeping things separate, especially the days. For example, on a Friday, I'll say, it's pub night. Now, I don't actually go to the pub, except for the occasional meal out with my partner. But what I like to do generally on a Friday night or Friday afternoon is crank up my fire pit, have a couple of beers and a wine or two, and reflect on the week that was. And Mondays. There was a time when Monday-itis was actually a real thing. I don't know who made that up, but it kind of explained it pretty well, didn't it? Mind you, that depended on the job you're doing, whether you actually enjoyed it or not. Some jobs I did, others not so much. Now, I look at Mondays as the beginning of a whole new exciting week. Something to look forward to, and what's it going to bring? As we age, our memory can let us down a little bit, especially the short-term memory. I mean, I don't know how many times I've gone into the kitchen to get something, only to forget what it was I went there to get. Sound familiar? Yeah. But one of the things I've found that helps me, well, actually a couple of things. One, I write down anything that's important. And I've started to use the calendar on my computer, either Outlook or Gmail. They both work really well. And it's really just to make sure when something important comes up, especially like doctor's appointments, I put it in straight away. And the other thing, number two, I have to have routine in my life. You know, I don't want to have to think about what it is that I've got to do, because quite simply, I'll just forget it. So routine to me is important. For example, I get up at 5 a.m. every day, or thereabouts. I make a coffee, and then I go down to my studio, check my emails, and sort of plan for what I want to do for the day. And that can change. To me, it doesn't matter. I'm staying active. And around about 7 o'clock, I go for my morning walk, which is about 2.5 to 3 k's long, and that takes me about a half an hour. I also take a bag with me to collect cans and bottles that lazy people will leave lying around. And then once a month, I take them through to the containers or the cash for containers place and cash them in. Now, I know when the big bag I've got's full, that's around about $30 worth. So if you do that every month, well, I mean, that adds up to about $360, which more than pays for Netflix. Every second day, I do my routine exercises, with the main focus being on strengthening my legs. The other ones that got to carry us around, and balance. We all know people that have fallen over, that have lost their balance, and in some cases that can be very, very serious, if not life-threatening. You know, it's so important to maintain a pretty fit, healthful lifestyle, especially if you're planning on going into extra time. And I'll be showing you how I go about my daily workout as well. There's one thing I have learned, and that is we have to live in the now. Because yesterday's been and gone, and quite frankly, tomorrow never comes. So it's now, right now. We have to live in the moment. I'll be sharing with you how I lost over 40 kgs at my heaviest weight, and how I've managed to keep it off over the last couple of years. And you might find you'll be surprised at what I actually eat. I never go hungry. And it's got nothing to do with what we were told we could and couldn't eat when we were younger. You'll also get a look at life here in the beautiful Lockyer Valley. Because honestly, I reckon it's one of the best places in the world to grow old. And hopefully, wherever you are, you feel the same about your little corner of the world too. So, if you're over 60, retired or nearly there, and you want to live a bit happier, a bit lighter, and maybe with a bit more purpose and a bit of mischief, you've come to the right place. So what do you reckon? Ready to give it a crack? Hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and join me on making this chapter in our lives the best one yet. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.